There are 3 used pickup trucks sitting on dealer lots right now that salesmen would trade their lunch money just to get you behind the wheel. These are trucks mechanics quietly buy for themselves, while everyone else keeps lighting cash on fire chasing badges. The first one I'm about to talk about makes Tacoma prices look like a bad financial decision. The last one, that one offends truck guys so deeply, it should come with a warning label. Welcome to Old Man Garage. Let's make some people uncomfortable. Let's start with the one that might not excite you, until you actually understand it. The Nissan Frontier is the automotive equivalent of a hammer. It's not pretty. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, mood lighting, or a screen big enough to watch Netflix. But it just works. Every single time. And that's exactly why it's criminally cheap. I've been around shops long enough to notice a pattern. When a Tacoma rolls in, there's always a conversation. When a Frontier rolls in, it's usually just, oil change? Yeah, that's it. Oil change. Maybe brakes. End of story. A couple months ago, a 2017 Nissan Frontier SV showed up with 168,000 miles on it. Original owner, landscaping business. This truck hauled mowers, trailers, mulch, stone, and probably emotional baggage. He asked me what major repairs were coming. I put it on the lift, checked suspension, scanned it, looked for leaks. The transmission fluid was still clean. No warning lights, no drama. I told him to keep driving it. He looked disappointed, like I had ruined his excuse to buy a new truck. Here's why this thing refuses to die. From 2005 to 2021, the Frontier ran the VQ40DE 4.0-liter V6, naturally aspirated. No turbo, no direct injection carbon nightmares. Timing chain instead of a belt. This engine comes from Nissan's legendary VQ family, the same bloodline as the 350Z. It makes 261 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. Not exciting numbers on paper, but torque where it actually matters. You know, when you're towing something heavier than a jet ski. The transmission? A 5-speed automatic. Not a 10-speed science experiment. Not a CVT that needs therapy. Just a torque converter automatic that Nissan refined for nearly 2 decades. It shifts. It cools itself. It doesn't panic under load. It's boring in the best possible way. And yes, before the comments explode, there was the infamous radiator issue on earlier automatic models, mainly 2005 to 2010, the so-called strawberry milkshake of death, where coolant and transmission fluid mix. The fix is well known. Updated radiator, inspection, done. After 2010, the issue is far less common. If the transmission fluid looks clean and red, you're fine. If it looks like Pepto-Bismol, walk away faster than a dealership extended warranty pitch. Now let's talk money, because this is where the Frontier becomes insulting. A 2018 Nissan Frontier SV with around 75,000 miles goes for about $16,000 to $19,000. A comparable Tacoma with the same miles, $27,000 to $31,000. That's a $10,000 gap for a truck that Repair Pal literally ranks at the top of the mid-size reliability list. Yes, above the Tacoma. Let that marinate. Maintenance costs average around $470 per year. That's less than most people spend on coffee and bad decisions. Fuel economy? About 17 miles per gallon combined. Not great, not tragic. It's a truck, not a Prius with a bed. Anyone who wants a truck that behaves like a tool, not a lifestyle accessory. Contractors, boat owners, people who keep vehicles until the wheels fall off, and then replace the wheels and keep going. Who should skip it? If you want the latest tech, ambient lighting, and an interior that feels like a spaceship, this isn't it. The second-generation interior feels like 2004 because it is. If resale value keeps you up at night, buy the Tacoma and overpay like everyone else. Here's the mechanic math. Buy it cheap. Drive it 150,000 miles. Spend maybe $3,000 to $4,000 total on maintenance. That's it. Cost per mile that makes accountants smile and truck bros angry. And if this one already surprised you, the next truck is even more ignored, even more misunderstood, and somehow even cheaper than it deserves to be. Quick break. Send this video to that friend who keeps saying, yeah, but it's not a real truck. And if this already saved you money, hit like so YouTube knows Old Man Garage is telling the truth. Alright, this is where the comments section starts warming up. Because the Hyundai Santa Cruz is the truck that makes traditional truck guys physically uncomfortable. Not because it's bad, but because it works. This is the one people laugh at, right before it quietly goes 200,000 miles without asking permission. Most Americans don't even know this thing exists, and the ones who do usually say something like, "That's not a real truck." Correct. And neither is the way 90% of people actually use their trucks. About 8 months ago, a guy in his mid-30s came through the shop. Property management, tool bags, ladders, paint, daily commuting. He wanted me to inspect a 2021 Toyota Tacoma SR5, 74,000 miles. Dealer wanted $29,500. I looked at the listing and told him, "You're about to spend 30 grand on a truck that gear hunts like it's lost and gets 19 miles per gallon on a good day." He asked what I'd buy instead. I pulled up a 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz Limited with a 2.5-liter turbo, 31,000 miles, $23,800. More power, better mileage, nicer interior, $5,700 cheaper. He bought it. 8 months later, 0 repair bills, not even a check engine light to keep things interesting. Here's what nobody tells you about the Santa Cruz. It's built on the same platform as the Hyundai Tucson, one of the most reliable compact crossovers in America right now. And before you roll your eyes, understand this. Reliable platforms matter more than tough guy marketing. The base engine is a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, making 191 horsepower, paired with a traditional 8-speed automatic. That combo is simple, proven, and about as exciting as oatmeal, which is exactly what you want if you plan to keep it forever. But the fun one? The 2.5-liter turbo. 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. That's more torque than a V6 Tacoma in a truck that weighs about 800 pounds less. It moves, like, actually moves. And yes, it uses an 8-speed wet dual-clutch transmission. Cue the internet panic. Here's the reality. Hyundai's wet DCT in this application has been solid. Same setup in the Tucson, same setup in the Santa Cruz. I haven't seen one fail yet. Not saying it's immortal, but it's nowhere near the disaster people want it to be. If you're risk-averse, buy the base engine. If you like fun, buy the turbo and don't drive like a YouTube comment. Now let's talk about why these things rot on dealer lots. Unibody construction, 4-foot 3-inch bed, 5,000-pound tow rating. Truck guys hear that and immediately faint. But here's the uncomfortable truth. 90% of truck owners never tow more than 3,500 pounds. They never put more than 1,000 pounds in the bed. They use their trucks to commute, hit Home Depot twice a year, and feel emotionally supported by a tailgate. The Santa Cruz does all of that better than a Tacoma. It rides smoother. It's quieter. It gets about 25 miles per gallon combined with the turbo, compared to the Tacoma's 21 on a good week. And the interior doesn't feel like it was designed during the Bush administration. Hyundai's original 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty transfers to the second owner as 5 years or 60,000 miles. That's still better than what Ford, Chevy, or Toyota offer on used trucks. Yes, even Toyota. Used pricing right now is ridiculous. A 2022 Santa Cruz Limited with under 40,000 miles goes for about $23,000 to $27,000. A comparable Tacoma, $31,000 to $35,000. That's 8 to 10 grand saved because people don't like the way it looks in their driveway. Maintenance costs average around $468 per year. Brake jobs are cheap, oil changes are easy. Parts are shared with the Tucson, which means availability is excellent and prices are sane. If you're shopping for one, here's what actually matters. Check which engine it has. Base engine equals maximum peace of mind. Turbo equals smiles per gallon. Test the all-wheel drive system. Hyundai's H-Track setup is proven and capable. Check the underbed trunk storage. If it's full of water or smells like regret, walk away. And on turbo models, look for oil seepage around intake piping and watch for blue smoke on cold starts. If it starts clean, you're good. Who should buy this truck? Daily drivers who occasionally need a bed. People who want performance without punishment. Anyone tired of paying Toyota tax. Who should skip it? If you tow heavy every weekend. If you off-road seriously. Or if your identity depends on strangers recognizing your truck brand at gas stations. Because here's the truth. The only reason the Santa Cruz is cheap is because truck culture hasn't caught up yet. And honestly, I hope it never does. And if this one already messed with your expectations, The next truck is the one that causes full-blown identity crises. People argue about it, they mock it, then they drive it. And suddenly, everything gets very quiet. All right, take a deep breath. This is the one that makes grown men cross their arms and say, "Yeah, but that's not a real truck." And every single time, that sentence is followed by silence. Right after they drive it. The Honda Ridgeline is hands down the most misunderstood pickup truck in America. Not because it's bad, but because it refuses to play the macho game. And truck culture hates that. About 2 years ago, a guy in his early 50s came into the shop. Retired military, straight shooter, New England winters, needed something reliable, comfortable, able to tow a small boat and haul fishing gear. Budget was $28,000. Naturally, he was looking at Tacomas. I asked if he'd considered a Ridgeline. He didn't just say no, he said, "That's a pilot with a birth defect." I didn't argue. I walked him outside and pointed at my technician's personal truck, a 2017 Honda Ridgeline RTLE with 187,000 miles on it. Bought used at 62,000 miles. Total repair cost over years of ownership, around $2,400. That included brakes, tires, and a power steering pump at 160,000 miles. Oil changes aside, that was it. The retired military guy bought a 2019 Ridgeline RTL the next week. 54,000 miles, $23,500. He texted us 4 months ago. 112,000 miles, 0 mechanical issues. His exact words were, "Why does nobody talk about this truck?" Oh, people talk about it. They just don't want to admit they're wrong. Here's why the second-generation Ridgeline, 2017 through 2024, is a mechanical cheat code. Under the hood is Honda's 3.5-liter J-Series V6, same engine family used in the Pilot, Passport, and Acura MDX. This engine architecture has been around since 1998 and refined for over 25 years. In the Ridgeline, it makes 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Plenty for daily driving, towing, and not feeling like you're flooring it just to merge. And before anyone brings up timing belts, not here. This generation uses a timing chain. No belt services, no $1,000 maintenance surprises. It also uses both direct and port fuel injection, which means carbon buildup issues are dramatically reduced compared to engines that rely on direct injection alone. That matters when you're thinking long-term. Transmission-wise, Honda did something radical. They didn't get cute. From 2017 to 2020, it used a 6-speed automatic. Smooth, proven, normal. In 2021 and newer models, Honda upgraded to a 9-speed automatic that's even smoother and more efficient. Both are traditional torque converter automatics, no CVT, no dual clutch drama, just transmissions that wake up every morning and do their job. Now let's talk about the thing that triggers the internet, unibody construction. Yes, the Ridgeline is unibody, and no, that doesn't make it weak, it makes it smart. Unibody construction gives you a lower center of gravity, which means better handling and stability. A stiffer structure, which means fewer squeaks, rattles, and "what is that noise" moments at high mileage. Independent rear suspension instead of a solid axle, so the truck doesn't hop sideways over bumps. And a ride quality that feels more like a well-sorted SUV than a farm implement. And then there's the bed. Flat floor. No wheel well intrusions. A 4x8 sheet of plywood lays flat without gymnastics. Try that in a Tacoma. And then Honda went completely unhinged and added a massive lockable waterproof in-bed trunk. You can fill it with ice and use it as a cooler. Or lock tools in it and leave the truck parked overnight without anxiety. No other pickup does this. None. The tailgate? It swings down like normal, or opens sideways. Because sometimes Honda just wants to remind you they're engineers, not marketers. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is where Tacoma owners stop listening. A 2019 Ridgeline RTL with around 65,000 miles sells for about $22,000 to $26,000. A comparable Tacoma TRD off-road with similar mileage, $31,000 to $36,000. That's a $9,000 to $10,000 gap. For a truck that rides better, has more usable features, and costs less to maintain. Annual maintenance averages around $500 to $600. Brake jobs, about $330 for all 4 wheels. Transmission service, around $180. The most expensive repair I've personally seen on one of these was a starter motor at 195,000 miles. $380. That's it. Worst case scenario. The composite bed doesn't rust. It doesn't dent. It doesn't need a liner. The all-wheel drive system is standard on every Ridgeline and uses Honda's torque vectoring setup that can send power to individual rear wheels. It's not built for Moab, but for snow, rain, sand, and dirt roads, it's outstanding. Who should buy this truck? People who actually drive every day, long commutes, families, anyone who wants a pickup that doesn't punish them for owning it. People who want Honda reliability without paying Toyota tax. Who should avoid it? If you tow more than 5,000 pounds regularly. If rock crawling is your personality. Or if you deeply care what strangers think when you pull into a job site. Because yes, resale value is the Ridgeline's one real weakness. It depreciates faster than a Tacoma. But that's only a problem if you're selling. If you're buying used and keeping it, that depreciation is your discount. Here's my final take, straight from Old Man Garage. If I had to buy one pickup truck today to drive for the next 10 years, with the lowest total cost of ownership and the highest quality of daily life, I'd buy a Ridgeline without hesitation. I'd smile at 250,000 miles. And I wouldn't care who laughed at the gas station, because I'd be laughing harder at the repair shop I never had to visit. 3 trucks the market forgot. 3 trucks mechanics didn't. And now you know why.